Yeah. All right. Go.
Movie the podcast. That's right, movie the podcast. It is still Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Sean isn't here, and he made us watch the Ladykillers.
He did the classic, like, taking a big shit and then just, like, leaving it in the toilet so somebody else has to flush it.
Like, this movie...
At this point, can we just kick him off the show?
Yeah.
I mean...
Because he tried to do it with Southland Tales, too.
Yeah, we delayed the show for, like, a month.
We delayed the show a whole month, because we made him face the music. I realized my mic was nowhere near my face. But anywho...
Yeah, you were. I didn't realize how distant you were until you just moved it. I was like, oh, there you go.
Well, emotionally. So, yeah, this movie sucks shit. It made me change. It almost made me completely change my opinion of Tom Hanks as a person. So,
wow.
This movie sucks, but it sucks.
We'll get into it.
All I'm saying, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But like the Coen brothers, who I like, and Tom Hanks, who I like.
Yeah.
Could not have looked at the dailies for this and gone, this is a good movie. We're doing a good job.
There's nothing but talented people in this movie. J.K. Simmons,
who I like.
Stephen Root. Like, it's a lot of the Coen mainstays.
One Wayans, which one? I'm not sure.
It's Marlon, and he is so terrible. Like, again, he's only dealing with the material that he's given, right? But, like, his character is so annoying that it borders on, like, being super racist. Like, I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but, like, I felt, like, uncomfortable with his character. Like I don't know.
Like his character was so annoying you were disregarding his entire race? Is that what we're getting at?
No, but I'm saying, like, as a character, like, written by two white guys, like, his character felt like, there's a word that I'd like to use, but I'm not gonna. But it was, like, minstrelly is the way I would describe his character. And, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm I don't know. I know, like, we talk about this all the time, but, like, maybe I'm just too sensitive nowadays because that's 2023 and I'm woke. But, like, I had a real hard time with his character. Like, it was real bad. Because, like, he's just annoying and, like, his two characteristics are he's annoying and black. And I'm like,
But you guys both like big booties, so that would have been...
That's pretty Coen-y, though. Like, they really don't have any black characters in any of their movies.
It's probably
the one time they
best.
tried it.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought about that.
That's a very good point.
They don't think. Do you think of any Coen's movies that have any black characters in them?
Well, Ethan Coen did that Macbeth movie last year with Denzel Washington, but beyond, like, in the Coen brothers oeuvre, I can't think of one. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think, like,
Was there any black characters in No Country for Old Men? Or Three Billboards? There had to be somebody. Wait, Three Billboards was them.
They didn't make Three Billboards. I don't believe there was a black character in No Country for Old Men. There was black characters in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, but they were kind of like in the same capacity as this. I think there was like a choir scene. So yeah, I mean, as far as like main characters, absolutely not. I don't know if they've, like, it's pretty wild. But anyway, we'll get into the movie in a second. Let's get into what we watched this week. Alec.
I watched, I think 4 things.
Nice. 4 things?
Well, because we missed your contributions from last week.
Oh, that's right. You were out last week.
Yeah, I watched 4 things. One's called Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
Oh, I saw commercials for that. It looked pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. It's not like great, but it's
like solid. Current SNL people, right? I haven't watched SNL.
They're basically the new version of The Lonely Island.
Okay.
Like the same 3 white guys who are like obsessed with rap, but they're still funny. They're funny together, and overall, it's pretty good.
What's it about?
I enjoyed it. Life is starting to split these guys apart, and the one character realizes that a compass they found when they were kids might lead them to a treasure when they're in their like mid to late 20s. So they go on like a treasure hunt.
Okay.
And hijinks ensue. I liked it a lot. It's not like the best thing I've ever seen, but it was a lot better than I expected from like a Peacock original SNL SNL movie from guys I really hadn't heard of. Conan O'Brien's in it. He's really funny. He plays one of their dads. And like, he looks almost exactly like him. Or I didn't look it up to see if he was actually his dad or not. But they look really, they have like the same like red hair coif. He might actually be related to the guy now that I think of it. I didn't actually look it up. But he owns like a big sporting goods store and he's really funny. Really not a lot of other people in it that are like recognizable. There's a bunch of like current-ish SNL people in it.
Yeah,
but I don't think either one of you watch any SNL. I watch it sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. Sometimes, like, when a bit, gets clipped on, like, TikTok or something. That's about the extent of my exposure to SNL these days.
Chimp Klimt.
Yeah, Chimp Klimt.
So that was pretty good. I would recommend it. I think it was only like an hour and a half. It wasn't, like, super long.
Perfect length for a comedy.
Watched some movie that's also on Peacock called The Gingerweed Man. And let me tell you, it's amazing how people can get money together to make some movies.
Mm.
It's really shocking.
So he was a gingerbread man that smoked weed?
He has nothing to do with gingerbread. I don't know why he's called that. He's a little, like, weed nugget that's sentient, but he deals weed to people.
It sounds amazing.
Oh, so he's like the gingerbread man made of sweet marijuana.
But it's only like...
the dankest of nugs.
I think it's like barely an hour long.
Hell yeah.
He looks like
kinda, he looks like we watched it, because it was like, well, it's only an hour.
Was it at least like stupid funny? Like,
it was really stupid. Like, and we couldn't follow the plot, like, for anything. Like, there's another, like, sentient piece of weed that shows up, but we thought it was a flashback and it was him as a kid until they showed up on screen together. And we're like, oh, there's two of them.
It sounds incredible.
It's so ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
You guys remember the Ghoulies? He looks like a ghoulie.
You love
kind of.
You've brought up since we've known each other, you have brought up Ghoulies like 1,000 times.
But it's what he looks like.
Ghoulies is the best point of reference for you.
I mean, it's not my fault.
No, I'm not making fun. I just think it's funny.
Like, he was erupting. If the gingerweed man was erupting out of a toilet, everyone would go, "That's a ghoulie."
Weren't they at college? I think that was the plot of the Ghoulies. Anyway.
Oh, that's been forever. We should do Ghoulies month. There's several of them.
Anything else, Alec?
Oh yeah, I got two more things. Oh, nice. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, I watched that too on the other show that I do with Chris. It was okay.
Yeah, that useless show. I thought the same thing. I thought it was like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It's like, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a fairly quick movie. Like,
yeah.
I don't like the aggressive.
Pretty good in it.
I feel like the plot is insanely convoluted for like as dumb of a movie as it is.
Yes,
like
we had some trouble tracking it at points.
You want to talk about a confusing ass plot, and like the main character has this revelation that he can like manipulate his dreams and glean new information from his dreams. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? And that becomes
that's because the kids in his dreams were ghost kids from the animatronic robots.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. I thought that the first, like the cold open for the movie, I thought was like the best part of the movie. Like, I loved it. It was like a Saw scene. Like, it was, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. It was a fun little short film. And then it kind of went away from me. I don't know. I also really don't like that main actor at all. The guy from Hunger Games. I don't know his name.
Yeah. You need to watch Future Man.
I watched it. I need to finish it.
So good in that. And it's so funny. And like, I didn't think he was very good either until I watched Future Man. Like, I don't know how that show got like 5 seasons or whatever, but it's so good. And he's so good at that. That's what turned me around on him. Because I thought he was kind of a dud. Like, in the Hunger Games and stuff, I was like, he kind of sucks. He's very one note.
That's like,
but in Future Man, like, it starts off with him like accidentally jerking off on a video game character who comes to life through a time portal.
Yeah, I actually forgot all about that show. I watched the first season after you recommended it. I remember enjoying it. I just need to finish it.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 seasons. It gets real weird.
It's funny to me that like every
real
show
fucking
gets
weird.
like 7 seasons, unless it's on Netflix, and then it gets 1 and it's done. But
But I thought Five Nights at Freddy's, like, if I had to score, I'd give it like a 6 or 7. It wasn't
yeah,
great, but it wasn't like, I wasn't mad that I watched it. It wasn't
no,
like the best thing I ever watched. I thought it was a little surprisingly dark at some points for who they market it to. Like,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah, I
What's
agree.
kind
it? What's
of
it
dark
rated?
and gross
PG.
for it being like a video game for kids, basically.
Yeah, and I mean they like kill people and stuff in it too. I mean they don't.
Yeah, and they
I mean,
allude
it's not
to
like
they
it's not
allude
like
to like
super
murdering
gory, but,
children and keeping
Oh,
their
yeah.
corpses in animatronic puppets.
which is canonical to the game apparently. Like that's actually the lore in the game is that there's like dead children in those Chuck E. Cheese robots.
That's dark.
It's
Mhm.
very dark. And
Isn't that the same plot as like
dark.
Neon Genesis Evangelion? Aren't there
First
corpses
of
in those robots?
First of all, watch your mouth.
I never
No.
watched it, but
That's not how it works. But
is Willy's Wonderland a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's?
so the funny thing about that is that Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie that you just watched, so that movie has been in like production hell for like a decade. Like they changed the script. It's one of those movies that like the script has changed 8,000 times, the director has changed 8,000 times, and the Willy's Wonderland or whatever. So they basically were like, well, fuck it, we're gonna make our own version of Five Nights at Freddy and beat it to market. So be like, we're the first ones. So that's all that is. They were just like trying to make a very quick cash grab.
And they did. Good old Nick Cage. Cash grab Cage.
Did
Never
you watch
says no.
that movie?
Says no to any project.
I did not. I just
It's
it
not
came up
very
when I
good.
was looking at stuff
Oh,
for
shit.
it came up when I was looking at stuff for this.
It's
So I was like,
it's super mid.
Oh, yeah.
I did not care for it.
He doesn't
Also-
speak in the movie.
Yeah, he
right?
doesn't speak in the whole movie, which is a choice that I can't fathom when you have Nicolas Cage.
I want to take his animatronic face off.
Uh,
The last thing we watched, it came out last year, and surprisingly it wasn't very good because all the recent stuff they've done has been very good. We watched Reno 911's It's a Wonderful Heist.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know that was out.
That came out like last December,
Oh, no shit.
and it's not good. It's not very funny.
What's it?
It is a shame because like all the new episodes they came out with, I thought were really good, and the other couple of special, they had the QAnon special,
Yeah,
and
I heard
and the defunded special, which were both really funny.
Yeah,
and they were like
you talked about the QAnon special in the show, I think, right? I think I remember that.
And they were both like feature length movies too, and they were both still really funny. This one just didn't do it. I like Stacey just thinks I might have run out of steam. I think Robert Ben Garant was not in it.
Oh, he's great.
And I feel like Junior is such a big part of the show. Like,
Agreed.
and him and Thomas Lennon write the whole fucking thing themselves.
Right.
Like, I don't know if he had writing credits, but he wasn't in the movie, so I'd assume he didn't help write it either. I don't know if he's got other stuff going on, or they had a falling out or something.
No, I know they did have a falling out because they've actually just had a big state like
Yeah,
reunion.
didn't they just tour?
Yeah.
Oh, they were at the Kennedy Center recently, weren't they?
Yeah.
That would have been fun to go see.
I wanted to get the tickets were kind of expensive. Like,
I'll bet.
I
And then David Wayne has like his own tour, the Dad Garage Rock Band tour or something.
Yep.
oh, I didn't know about that.
Him and
Ken Marino.
Ken Marino and somebody else just go around playing like Dave Matthews and like
Oh, I would love to see that.
jam band shit.
A million years ago, I saw Michael Showalter and Eugene Merman, and I forget the third comedian, but they played the Auto Bar, and they were fucking hilarious. Like, it was so fucking funny. Like, they were all really good. And I didn't even know, I mean, obviously now I know who Eugene Merman is, but like at the time I didn't really know who he was. Like, I remember him as, he was like a guy that showed up a couple of times in Flight of the Conchords. Like, I think in the show, I think he plays the building that the guys live in. But, he was so funny, and Michael Showalter was really funny, and like, I don't know, the state is one of those like touchstones for like our generation that like, I feel like is kind of lost for like younger generations. Like, I don't know, that show is very important to me. And I think all of us really. And, I was telling Gogs, actually, a little bit of interesting history. So, you know how the state was on MTV? Like, the reason for that? Because I didn't. I found this out, like, because of fucking TikTok, because TikTok's amazing. So they, before they got, like, on a show, or before they got their own sketch comedy show, they were a comedy troupe that would always play, like, music festivals. So they were, like, connected with, like, Sonic Youth and a lot of the, like, alternative bands of, like, the early 90s. And, God, what's her name? Weigel. She's
Erin Kenny Silver.
Yeah, she had her own band, and her band was pretty good. And they also, like, whenever the state would do their, like, comedy thing, like, open up, like, her band would play. So that's how they got the MTV connection, because they were already, like, deep in the music scene. So that's why that connection came to be. It also makes sense why, so many of their sketches were, like, based around the music so much, because they all came from, like, musical backgrounds. I thought that was pretty interesting. I had no idea. But anyway.
That is interesting.
Yeah, right? Like, I thought this was pretty cool. Anyway.
That's all the movies I watched. We started watching the most recent episode of The Righteous Gemstones, and, like, that show might be the best show on television right now.
I'm so far behind.
It's so goddamn funny.
I just finished the second season, so I'm way behind.
Oh, the third season is the one they're on. You're not behind.
Oh, I thought they were on the fourth.
No, the third one's the one that I'm watching. I'm halfway through it. It just came out this summer.
I need to watch
it. That show is so goddamn funny, and, like, it might be the best thing John Goodman's ever done, because he's so perfect as Eli Gemstone in that show.
It's quite a statement.
It is, but, like, I feel like it's fairly accurate.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, without scrolling through and, like, looking at everything that he's done. Like, he's great in, like, Oh Brother, but he's in it for like a minute.
He's great in every Coen's thing that he's in. Like Barton Fink, he's fantastic. He's great in
Lebowski.
Obviously the Big Lebowski. Like that. I mean, Walter.
Cloverfield, whatever, something.
Oh my God,
he's great in that.
Oh yeah,
10 Cloverfield Lane.
I mean, he honestly, like, and he is, to me, like, he's just super underrated as an actor. Like, he's so good, and he's just one of those guys that's just consistently amazing.
Humble Beginnings is Dan the Drywall Man.
Yeah, making his loose meat sandwiches. Fuck that.
I always thought that sounded so good when I was a kid. Now I'm like, ugh.
They're just sloppy joes, right?
Oh, that's it?
all it is, right?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
Because a loose meat is just a pourable meat. Right? That's all I can think of is sloppy Joe.
I got some pourable meat for you.
Some non-Newtonian beef.
Watch the first few episodes of Invincible that are available. Invincible's great. Like, that show's tremendous. I watched the first episode of Gen V just a little bit ago. It's pretty good. I'll keep watching and see how I like it.
You watched Scott Pilgrim yet?
No.
I'll
get around to it at some point.
It's very good. And it's quick.
There's some other movies. I've watched some other movie too, but I can't think. I didn't write it down, so I can't think of what it was, but I know I saw something else. But I think that's it. Gogs.
I watched 3 things.
3 things.
2 of them were repeats. Tis the season, so we watched Elf. Elf's a lot of fun. On paper, it's a dumb idea.
I enjoy it.
In execution, it's a dumb idea, but god damn it if it doesn't work.
They never made an Elf 2, did they? That's kind of shocking.
They shouldn't. They really...
I know, but I'm just that movie made so much fucking money. Like,
they apparently threw, like, truckloads of money at Will Ferrell to do a second one, and he refused. He was like, no.
Wow.
This is from a guy who made Anchorman 2.
Oh my God.
They threw truckloads of money, and he was like, no. Just, like Elf
Anchorman
is like...
2.
You do not like Anchorman 2. Anchorman 2 is so bad, dude. No, you don't.
I do like Anchorman 2.
I don't believe
you like some scenes from Anchorman 2. Like the scene.
Yeah.
I felt like Anchorman 2 was like a fight.
The news station fight.
You boys eat pussy? You're gonna.
You're gonna. I like the cunt punt Cowboys. See, you're chuckling.
Yeah, but that does not make a whole movie. Like, I had a hard time finishing that movie.
But Elf's great. Jimmy Caan is so good in Elf. I just can't get over it. And Bob Newhart, I feel like he's the unsung hero of Elf because he delivers everything in just such a dry Newhart kind of. Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. And he's saying the most ridiculous shit, and he does it straight faced. He's just a real. Shout out to Bob Newhart.
Do you remember Bob Newhart's sitcom, Bob, where his job was he was a comic book artist? I still think that's one of the weirdest...
no, he wasn't a comic book artist. You're thinking of Cosmic Cow, aren't you? You're thinking of the other show, aren't you?
No, he did a sitcom where his character was a comic book artist. I think that's so fucking
Well, there was
weird.
a show called Newhart where he ran an inn, and there was Daryl, my other brother Daryl.
I think I could be wrong. Anyway, move on. We'll move past it. I'll look it up while you...
The other thing I watched was another lighthearted holiday film. I rewatched Joker.
Oh yeah, that is a holiday movie.
The movie's pretty good. Still pretty good. Joaquin Phoenix really leans into it. Dark movie, but
yeah, I was right.
Good times.
So in the series Bob. He played Bob McKay, the creator of the 1950s comic book superhero Mad Dog.
Okay.
Which is weird because Mad Dog is that's a real character. Anyway, what a weird premise for a sitcom. Why was he?
Now I gotta try to think about the one I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the Newhart show. That's old.
The Cosmic Cow thing.
Oh,
I'll figure that out in a little bit.
Are you thinking of Duckman?
Dude,
no. It was a show about a guy. He always wore a red sweater. He had silver hair. His daughters were kind of hot. He made a comic called Cosmic Cow, and it was just their life in San Francisco. And I cannot, for the life of me, remember that. But it was one of those network Friday night sitcoms that would you know what I'm saying. Once I hear the name, I'll be like,
Jesus
Together
Christ.
We Fuck or whatever it's called.
I don't it was called Together. That's a little. So
on the nose for NBC.
As soon as I googled Cosmic Cow, I immediately recognized this actor, but I cannot think of what Cosmic Cow TV show. The show I'd never heard of this show before. The show was called Too Close for Comfort, which is shockingly close to what you said.
So, Too Close for Comfort, right? You know who the fucking actor is that plays the animator, the artist? It's Judge Smales from Caddyshack.
Yeah, his name is Ted Knight.
How'd you like to mow my lawn? Yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff.
That's pretty funny, guys. Weird. That show was on from 1980 to 1987. So, you were what, 5 years old when that show ended? Or 6.
I was 7.
I can't count. Oh yeah,
I watched it since birth, apparently. So
it made a big impact on you.
It did.
The daughters are kind of hot, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. So anyway.
Oh, and Jim J. Bullock was in it. My favorite,
he was their
token
possibly gay neighbor. Yeah,
that's all that guy. Do you remember that in that period of time where there was always the questionably gay? He's just. He had
a name like Mitchum or something. He had some name that everyone likes to say.
Confirmed bachelor.
Confirmed bachelor. Yeah.
What was his name? Jim J. was Monroe Ficus.
Monroe Ficus? Oh my God, that rocks. Dude, we gotta start a band to call it Monroe Ficus.
Anyway,
sorry.
So I watched this. I watched Joker. I watched Elf.
The podcast.
I also watched. I watched Oppenheimer.
What'd you think of that?
Let me tell you something about Oppenheimer. That movie's pretty goddamn good. And I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was about Robert Oppenheimer, but I didn't know what it was about. I knew it was about the Manhattan Project. I knew it was about the development of the atomic bomb. I didn't realize it was about his whole life beyond that as well.
Mm-hmm. And kind of about the McCarthyism and
it was about McCarthyism. It was about the consequences of your actions. It's about all the fact, the way, and I don't know if it's real or not. I'm assuming it's truthful, but who knows? But his sort of point of view of this will be the bomb that will end war, not the bomb that will make war forever and terrifying.
Yeah.
and like how like his desire to maybe get it regulated and toned down got squashed, and then like the McCarthyism piece was really good and the way he got railroaded, but like it is chock-a-block full of just stunning performances, like just excellent top tier performances, but somehow like like fucking Josh Hartnett's killing it in this movie. Matt Damon's killing it in this movie.
Yeah, like, Josh Hartnett was really good. It was a very, very pleasant surprise. You're like, oh wow, he was
really good. Like
it's like I talked with you analog about it. Like everyone, there's not a bad performance in the whole movie.
But somehow, like over this very high bar of all of these great performances, Cillian Murphy's performance is literally something different. Like,
yeah, if he doesn't win Best Actor,
it's a crime. It is.
Yeah.
It is transcendent. Like, you don't even know who he's acting. It's one of those performances where he's doing it so well. You're not seeing Cillian Murphy. You're seeing Robert Oppenheimer. Like, he is just. He is almost like he's Daniel Day-Lewising it. Like, it is so
that's a good comparison.
Good in this movie.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Because I said this when I saw it, because I saw it in the theater, and I get that like shooting things big is Nolan's thing, and he loves 70 and all, but like the marketing push to like you have to watch this in 70, I thought was really odd after I watched the movie.
I think it was unnecessary. It's a much smaller. It's a small, quiet movie.
Yeah,
there's a big explosion. Like
there's really, but that's and that's kind of the point of the movie, right? Like it's like
intimate.
the fate of the fucking world is decided by little men in little rooms. You know what I mean? Like it's.
And spoiler alert for Oppenheimer, I guess, but like, I don't think everyone should see this movie. Alec, I don't think you've seen it yet.
You can't really spoil Oppenheimer.
It's like spoiling the Titanic, right? Like, you know what happens. Like, the fact that they made the choice to not show the actual bombing of Hiroshima or Nagasaki.
So glad. I'm really glad that they didn't.
It's like such a brilliant, like it's like, the one thing that you're expecting to see, the only thing you're expecting to see in this movie, and they don't show it. And I'm like,
well, I mean, I think like again, like Nolan. I mean, obviously, I'm the biggest Nolan mark in the room, but like he did the same thing in fucking Dunkirk, right? Like you never see the Nazis in Dunkirk. Like it's like it's just smart. Like it's a smart choice, and I think like I don't know. I mean, Oppenheimer is probably his best movie. Like it's so well done.
This is top tier Chris Nolan. It's this and Dunkirk for me. Like his like other stuff, like you know, the Batman movies are a lot of fun, right? Inception's a lot of fun despite its problems. I will always love Memento, right? I should probably revisit the space movie. But like
Interstellar.
Yeah, Dunkirk and Oppenheimer are both these quiet movies with these impossibly big stakes, and they're so intimate and so small, and the performances are so good.
I'm gonna start referring to my penis as intimate.
I mean, it is. I've seen it.
It's a limited engagement project.
It's very limited, 3-4 seconds tops. But this, like, I don't know. Oppenheimer is it actually. I went into it thinking, this can't withstand the hype.
But more penis entendre. Did you feel the length? Because I didn't. I mean, it was long, but
no.
Yeah.
It cooked. Like it just like I was with it the whole time. I was like, and then when it ended, I was like, oh,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I felt
for
the same way.
It's one of the fastest 3-hour movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
It's like Dune. Like Dune's 3 hours, and I can sit there and watch Dune whenever.
Still sad we haven't seen Dune 2 yet.
March, I think. But yeah, Oppenheimer, man, believe the hype. Super, super good. And Cillian Murphy, like he just, like Cillian Murphy's so good in it, like it made me sit back and reflect on him and be like, maybe he is one of our greatest current actors because he is just, like, I'm trying to think now of a bad Cillian Murphy performance and I can't.
Oh, he's always good. He's always good.
And he's British, Irish.
I think he's Irish.
Welsh.
Something.
He hides his accent very well in this. He hides his accent very well in 28 Days Later, but like, he's, I don't know, he's fucking top goddamn tier. Also, shout out to Kenneth Branagh, he shows up.
I mean, everybody shows up. Like, I think it's really cool, like, Benny Safdie's in the movie, Macon Blair is in the movie.
Dude, Macon Blair is like, that guy.
It's so cool that Macon Blair is in a fucking Christopher Nolan, like one of the biggest movies like of the year. It's crazy that little Macon Blair, a guy who was just Jeremy Saulnier's like best friend, is in like this major movie. I don't know. It's cool.
The guy who plays the prosecutor or the prosecutor in, he was the one brother from Lawless.
Yes.
The Tom Hardy movie. He's great in it too. Everyone's great in it. What am I saying? Everyone's fucking.
Wasn't that guy in one of the Terminator movies? Wasn't he John Connor?
He was John Connor in the one where the Terminator turned to like dust or nanites.
I always forget that guy's name, but he's been in a ton of shit. But yeah, every time I see him, I just think of that. What was it? Terminator Genesis? Was that
Genesis maybe, or one of the other?
Did we do that on the show? I feel like we did.
We did.
No.
Yeah. No,
we did Salvation on the show.
We did Salvation.
We did the one with him in it, I think.
I think we talked about Genesis.
Salvation is the one with Christian Bale. We did that one on the show.
Oh my god, yeah, that one was.
Maybe terrible. I watched Genesis by myself. Ugh,
I watched it with
a human.
I think I watched Genesis with you. I think that's why I think I saw it on the show. Anyway.
Also, shout out to the ladies too. Florence Pugh, tremendous in it.
Great.
Emily Blunt, tremendous in it.
I really, and I said this to Anthony today because he saw it. He watched it over the weekend too. And I really loved how this movie was like written. I think this movie's written incredibly well. Cause like at first I thought Florence Pugh's character towards the beginning of the movie, I thought she was kind of underdeveloped. But then like as the movie progresses, you realize like how important she actually is to the movie. And you're like, oh wow. Like that's kind of amazing. Right. Like I loved like, it's funny, right? Because obviously, like a through line to this show is how big of a pervert I am, and I actually love this scene where, like, towards the end, where they're both naked and just having a conversation, but it's actually like really tasteful and like interesting for the scene as to like what that represents. It's not just hey, these people are naked. Like there's like something to it.
No, it's not pulp. It's like it's a real human conversation.
They're in
like their refractory period.
Exactly, and they're super vulnerable, and like I don't know, like that's really clever. Like I thought that was like there's just a lot of
sure it is. There's Christopher Nolan off screen going, "Get out your bits, love. Get out with your bits."
Hopefully. Oh, he's got like a stained wife beater and like a Coors Light.
Oh, Chris Nolan.
He only dresses up all nice and proper when he's in interviews.
Anyway,
anything else, Josh?
That's everything I watched. TJ, what'd you watch?
I only watched one thing. I watched Hideki Anno's Shin Masked Rider. It's the third of his Shin trilogy.
So does Shin mean something that we should know?
Super, basically. Or like, it doesn't quite translate to super, but it's basically super.
The Shin Godzilla was Super Godzilla.
Again, it's not 100, like, it's not a 1-to-1 translation, but like, that's like close to what it means, apparently. And this is someone that's Googled it. Like, it's not like I know Japanese. But yeah, so the Shin trilogy is Shin Godzilla, which we all loved, Shin Ultraman, which I haven't watched yet, and Shin Kamen Rider. And man, Shin Kamen Rider, Masked Rider. That's another thing I found out watching this movie. So I always thought that the character was called Carmen Rider, and because that's how I'd seen it written. I've seen people talk about it. While I was watching the movie, I found out that Carmen is translated to masked. So it's actually, Carmen is Japanese for masked, or to wear a mask. So that's why the movie is Shin Masked Rider. But anyway, this is such a fun movie. I'm not too familiar with Kamen Rider. I know what the character looks like, and I've seen, I've been around anime and Tatsunoko stuff like Power Rangers and shit for years, obviously. So anytime I go to a convention, I see lots of toys and shit like that. But I don't really know the character very well. But I know that it's like a Power Rangers thing. Like it predates Power Rangers in Japan, which is Sentai Squad or something over in Japan. But so what this movie is this movie is a faithful recreation of what the TV shows are like in the 70s. These Tatsunoko shows, like a Power Ranger style show, but with Hideki Anno's crazy ass sensibilities. Like the movie just starts. Like it starts in media res with a motorcycle chase where the motorcycle is running away from these two trucks that are like these like black van trucks, and there is a spider web connecting both of them, and they are trying to ensnare the motorcycle into the spider web. That leads into Kamen Rider putting a helmet on, getting super strength, and then he continues to eviscerate all of the people that are chasing him. And when he punches people, it's just like blood mist. The movie is super violent.
Hell yeah.
I adored this movie. This movie is fucking insane. It's edited like a 70s Japanese show, like where the editing doesn't make a lot of sense in the beginning, because like the bad guy who, like, so all the people in this movie, all the like superpowered people are called Augs, and they're humans that are augmented with some kind of animal DNA. So Kamen Rider is augmented with a mantis. The first villain is a spider, and he's got this like crazy ass like psycho mantis ass helmet, and he grows he grows another set of arms that he fights with, and like he spits webs. It's fucking amazing. But anyway, he fucking like it's the most like insane ADHD beginning, because you have this motorcycle race, this motorcycle chase that leads to this huge bloody fight. Then the Kamen Rider and this girl that's on the motorcycle with her takes Kamen Rider to this like warehouse where this scientist comes out, who is one of my favorite filmmakers, Shinya Tsukimoto. He's in the movie. He was also in Shin Godzilla. But I love Shinya Tsukimoto, so I was like popped hard when I saw him. But he literally just in 5 seconds explains like, "Oh, you were one of my assistants. Now I gave you superpowers. Now you got to save the world. Now I'm gonna die." And then then he like explodes, and then the movie like just never stops. It's so fucking kinetic and insane, and like every time they introduce a new villain, it's even more fucking insane. The movie, like the main villain is like this rogue AI. Like every idea they introduce is the most bonkers shit, and it's so unserious. But then at the same time, like when they're not fighting, the whole movie like has these like dialogue scenes that are reflections on like existence and what makes like humanity happy. I 10 plus. This movie is a fucking fever dream. I loved it. Like this is kind of like, it felt like a great double feature with like Smoking Causes Coughing, which is another like weird dissection of like a Power Rangers thing. And this is like the opposite. This is like, let's make Power Rangers, but like, let's give it a budget. Let's like shoot it and it looks really good, but let's just keep all the weird editing choices that those shows had. Let's keep all the like Speed Racer-esque, like I'm going to spit out like 900 lines of exposition, but like in 5 seconds, and not let you dwell on any of it. And then we'll put in all this weird philosophical bullshit on top. Like, is it as good as Shin Godzilla? No, because Shin Godzilla is like a real movie, and this is just fucking insanity on film. But God, I loved it so much. Like I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to watch it again. Like I loved it. I thought it was great.
So are you gonna watch Shin Ultraman and round it out?
I need to watch Shin Ultraman. I have it on the Plex. I just haven't got. It's so funny. I have, a billion movies on the Plex, right? But I still like, when I'm like, I want to go watch something, I go to fucking Amazon, and you know what I mean? Like, oh, what do they got new? And they just happen to have Kamen Rider on Prime, so I watched it. But
did we watch it? We watched Inframan. That's what we watched, right?
Yeah, I love that movie. It's similar to that. It's Inframan with a bigger budget and with a guy that loves like weird philosophy questions in his movies. Like, I don't know. I loved it. I don't know how you guys would feel about it, but like your mileage may vary if you don't like just absolutely insane shit. It might be my birthday pick in a few months because I don't know. This movie was like a lot of fun. This had the same kind of energy that like when I watched that Wolf Guy movie that I recommended. Like it felt like that. It was just absolutely insane, and I loved every minute of it. But that's all I watched. So let's get into the Ladykillers. Unfortunately.
All right. I guess.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose will not stop fucking running.
Well,
all those years of cocaine have finally caught up with me.
You got to get a bidet.
Get a nose bidet.
Oh my god. Sorry. My comic books were falling on top of me.
What a way to go.
That's a very specific and terrible way to die.
My Attack on Titan omnibus fell down.
That's a thick boy. Look at that.
It's only the first volume, which is crazy.
My goodness. They just keep attacking on Titan.
I got this for $2.
Wow.
What a bargain.
So a movie we watched for free was The Ladykillers.
Yeah.
And that movie sucks. So
no one should pay for this fucking movie.
So here's the idea. There's a lady who lives in a...
Pause real quick.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Has anyone here seen the original? The 1955 original?
Is that why this movie exists?
It is a remake. And you know who's the lead actor in the original? You'll never guess it.
Jack
Wayne. Lemmon.
No. Star Wars actor.
Luke Skywalker.
George C. Scott.
What fucking Star Wars was George C. Scott in?
I don't know anymore.
It's Alec Guinness.
Genuine class.
Yeah.
Nice. Here's a rubber ball. Maybe you can bounce it.
Perhaps you'd like to bounce it.
Got away from you. So, there's a woman, she lives in a house, she talked to a cop, and then the next thing you know, Foghorn Leghorn shows up, and he's like, hold it, I want to ready a room, and it's Tom Hanks with fake teeth, just doing a bit, and he's like, you have a room to rent? Oh, sweet. Do you also have a basement to rent? Because me and my band of period piece playing Renaissance festival having boys need a place to practice in your soundproof root cellar. So she's like, sure, why not? Just don't play any hippity hop and don't smoke cigarettes. So then you're introduced to a cast of just the most delightful characters. You've got poor J.K. Simmons, who must have needed the money.
He's trying too. Everybody's trying in this movie.
Trying. Yeah. He's a guy in this movie, and he's got a lady, and then
he kills a dog at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like I obviously like I don't like I hate when animals die, but I have to say that was probably the only part of the movie that made me laugh. Like I thought that joke was pretty funny. The fucking dog. So
he's giving him mouth to mouth. Yeah.
J.K. Simmons he works in the entertainment field, and he's like a special effects guy, like a demo guy, I guess is what they describe him as. So like at a certain point he's shooting a dog commercial, but the dog is supposed to be like, it's like in war, so he has the idea to put like a fucking gas mask on him, but the dog can't breathe.
I don't breathe.
Also, that guy is in that scene that was in Heroes, and that's the only thing I ever remember him from. He was also in L.A. Noire. Remember that game, Gogs?
Oh, yeah.
He was the hero in Big Ass Spiders.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. And he's in the Abrams. He's in Rise of the Skywalker for some reason. He's like one of them. I think you're right. Yeah.
So anyway,
Greg eking out a career.
God bless him.
There's J.K. Simmons. There's A. Wayans. He works at a casino riverboat, which is a riverboat casino is parked right next to this lady's house. There's an Asian fella who knows how to like jam his fingers up your nose.
Who has like a Hitler mustache?
Who has a Hitler mustache for reasons unexplained?
You know, and in the beginning of this movie, I talked about how the Marlon Wayans character was like terrible because he's so like stereotypically terrible. But I just realized that the other black characters you see in this movie, like the other first black characters you see in this movie, that's a hell of a sentence. They're robbing the fucking donut store, so it's like this is not good. Like
no, it's not.
Real bad.
It's really not. And then the last one is Bertier from Remember the Titans, except this time he's retarded.
Oh my god! Dude, so that character, and then like I even hated the weird. And again, I think this movie is putting on a patina of like 50s slapstick, but like the football scene that you're introduced him to is so bad, and like it's just not funny. Like it's like, oh, it's funny because you keep seeing his like feet dangle in front of him, but like none of did not laugh. Like nothing. Like it was.
I think that these idiot Coen brothers got so enamored with themselves from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." They said we can recreate that into like another funny. Oh, this isn't a period piece. It kind of feels like it. That we could do another kind of like
this movie take place.
Takes place like modern
in the 80s, I think.
They got like boom boxes and
I guess
they don't have cell phones yet.
Yeah, they don't have.
But they have like boom boxes and CDs and stuff. Like it's.
I'm thinking the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. The modern times, I get it.
Yeah, Reagan times.
The Coens got so enamored with "Oh Brother" and how great that was that they said, let's go to the old well and do the same thing, and failed miserably.
Yeah, this is just. I mean, the worst thing a comedy can do is just not be funny, and this movie is not funny. It's aggressively not funny.
And I was very high when I watched it, too. I was trying to make it
funny.
And
that didn't help, huh?
Not a lick. Made me mad. So, anywho. So, they decide...
that really just struck me as fun. Like, on the fucking... The Blu-ray, 1 star. God, it made me mad. This movie pissed me off.
It ruined my evening. Harshed my mellow. So... Anyway, they're in this basement. They're digging out whatever. Marlon Wayans works as a janitor, and he tries to go to the count room to do whatever. And they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dig this hole to the count room, which exists on dry land, but the wetland money comes into the dry land bank, and it's got a big, thick steel door. So we're going to bust through its regular old concrete walls, and then we're going to steal all the stuff. And so that's what happens. And they botch it, and there's a barge that keeps showing up where they dump all their dirt because they can't just dump the dirt somewhere else for some reason. And then the old lady is like sticking her nose in the business, and they got to admit that maybe they're not singers, but they are bank robbers, and she loves Bob Jones University. And then they all end up dying and falling onto the barge, and then she's left with like $1.3 million, and she gives it all to Bob Jones University because the cops don't believe her, and that's the movie.
Yeah, the thing that the movie, and again, like, I don't know if this is how the original is set up, and like, but the pacing of this movie is like really odd, because like they succeed with pretty much minimal, I mean, J.K. Simmons and Marlon Wayans will get along because Marlon Wayans is like an asshole. Like he there's one scene where he like, this is another, I mean, I'm going to just be a broken record, but like every joke doesn't land, but like the joke is that J.K. Simmons has like kind of like a butch older girlfriend, I guess. And like, I don't know why it's funny. Like,
but it's not funny.
It's not, and also like, it's not even like a joke. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what but like, he brings her to like, they're at like a diner and they're planning like aspects of their heist. And Marlon Wayans just keeps saying, you brought your bitch to the thing. You brought your bitch to the, and it's like, it's not funny. And it's just really fucking irritating. And like, I
don't know. Any of these could be the take that they were like, Yeah, that's what we're going for.
But even in like the concept of like the script, like what is that fucking scene? Like what and like where is the joke? Like I don't understand. Like it's just weird, and like there's so many like parts of this movie that like what exactly, like I know that breaking down comedy is like one of the like least funny things in the world. Like I hate when people like try to do that, but like I really like to stop and go like, where's the joke here? Like what aspect of this scene is the funny part? Like I don't get it. Like I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, and I could go scene for scene as to like what is the point here? But the thing is, like they succeed, they get all the money, and then like then they eventually all like kill each other, and then that's the end of the movie. It's like really weird. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like, and all the deaths take place like really quickly, and like I guess that's like madcap and hilarious that they all die, but even that was like
nothing was funny about this movie. There was not. The best part was when the credits rolled at the end. Like this movie sucked from. Like this movie felt like 3 hours long. Like this was a trudge.
Oh my god! 2 sittings. I had to watch this in 2 fucking sittings. It was painful to get through.
This movie just sucks an absolute pile of shit. I don't know what Tom Hanks was thinking. I would love to ask him, like, current Tom Hanks, go, what the fuck, Tom Hanks?
I can tell you
all the movies you've done.
Yeah, but I can answer that question. It's the fucking Coen brothers. Like they're good.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Then okay, Coen brothers. Hi, same question.
Yeah,
they're the ones who deserve the.
Yeah, that is what I mean, because this is their only dud. Like
Do you think Tom Hanks looked at them at some point and goes, "Guys, what the hell's going on? Like, what is the?" He takes his teeth out. He's like, "What are we doing here? Like, is this is this your vision?" I
mean, that's what that like this movie feels like it shouldn't exist. Like it's just like what is the?
Is this a Make-A-Wish? Did somebody Make-A-Wish this into existence?
Yeah, I don't know. And like as the credits rolled, I was like, what did I just watch, and why did I watch it? Like you know what I mean? Like it just feels so. I mean, every movie's unnecessary, but like that's the first word that comes to my mind. It's just completely unnecessary. Alec, was your favorite part of this movie the heist?
No. My favorite part was the cat.
The cat was great. Okay, yeah. There was the
cat who found the finger.
The cat, best part of the movie. There's a cat. His name's Pickles. That's probably going to be the only point this movie gets, because it does have an adorable cat. It's an orange cat. Love cats. Shout out to cats.
Tom Hanks breaks a tree trying to get it from a limb.
Like, the old woman annoyed me from the beginning.
Oh my god.
Because she's like, she opens the door, the cat runs out. She blames him for that.
Right.
When, like, you answered the door, you opened the door, and the cat ran out. And then
like, lady, you know the cat's going to run.
She's screaming at him to get the cat. And then, like, you're not doing it right. Like, shut up. Like, you old bag. It's like from the Seinfeld with the chocolate babka. Give me the babka, you old bag.
That's a great episode.
Man, I wanted to give this movie a 10.
Just to piss us off.
Just to piss you off from your Finch reviews from last week.
Oh, yeah. How'd you feel about that?
Now, you guys can go to hell.
I gave it a 7.
Because you and Sean are edgelords, everything has to be dark and brooding.
I mean, yeah.
If it's not a dark, brooding movie with tons of death and violence and kids getting fucked or whatever, then it's not worth watching.
That's how I feel. I acknowledge that in the review. I said. So
you're saying Finch and Dogtooth is just a classic double feature is what we should be watching.
That's a hell of a program there.
But I own this movie technically.
I know.
Don't know where it is.
We all used to live in a house. We used to all live in a house, and this movie was ever present. This movie was there.
I bought this movie when a Blockbuster we used to go to was closing, and they had a bunch of their DVDs on sale, like $5 for $10 or something.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I was like, had like armloads of DVDs. Like,
yeah, I remember those
like,
days. You just buy whatever because it's like you needed a third movie or whatever.
Tom Hanks,
like, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
They got 20 copies of it. Shit, I'll grab one. Whatever.
Yeah, you take a chance for $5. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And like I did the same thing at you do the same thing at Soundgarden.
Oh yeah.
Like they do like 3 for $10 or 4 for $10 depending on the quality of the movie. Like, well, shit. Let me take a flyer on Equilibrium.
Yeah,
because I got Avengers 1 and 2. Let me get a third.
Yeah, why not?
Something so I get the sale price.
I mean, Equilibrium rules, though.
I really miss that place that Sean and I used to go to in Halethorpe. That was it was a converted Blockbuster, but all they sold was used DVDs and Blu-rays, and you'd find just like they also would do like deep discounts, and you'd find some like real gems in there. Like I got the Proposition for like $3 there on Blu-ray. It's like, fuck.
I think I went there when they were closing down their like closing sale, and I got the Simpsons movie for like $2.
Yeah, that place was great. I can't remember the name of that place, but it was fucking awesome. I missed that.
Movie Stop or something?
Movie Stop. That was it.
Movies to Go?
No, you're right the first time. Movie Stop. Because it was next to a GameStop.
It was like right by the Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm. Movies to Go was the rental place we had in Mount Airy before any real rental place showed up.
Next to the Olive Leaf.
Next to Olive Leaf Cafe, not to be mistaken for the Olive.
Vinny used to work at that video store, and I used to go and hang out with Vinny, and we'd watch movies at that video store. And then, what was that kid's name? Joe something. He worked at the restaurant. He used to bring us food. It was awesome. We used to have a great time. Anyway, memory lane, everybody. It's really hard to talk about this movie because it sucks so bad. It's not funny. It's racist. It's over long for what it is. It's paced really weird. The heist is boring because there's no hiccups. It just happens.
There's absolutely no stakes. It just goes off without a hitch.
So Stacey asked me what this movie's about, and I described it to her. She's like,
"I'd love to know."
She was like, "Oh, it sounds like an Ocean's 11, like kind of like comedy heist." And I was like, "No."
I feel like that's what it wants to be, but it's not.
But it doesn't have it's not clever enough.
Yeah, and and the other thing is I'll admit, I watch a lot of old movies, but I don't really watch old comedies. I don't think I've ever watched, I've watched some Charlie Chaplin stuff, but I don't know, does that really count? I've never seen
it's funny, Some Like It Hot and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never seen Duck Soup or any the Marx Brothers stuff. So
Duck Soup's funny. Duck Soup's good.
But isn't it correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't stuff from that period kind of broad? Isn't that what the comedy was? It was more I don't know, easy jokes. I feel like this isn't even that. This is, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, again, it was all, it was just, it was simple stuff, and it was edgy for the 30s or whatever.
Right. I don't know, man. This movie is a fucking quandary, dude. I don't get it. I really don't get it. This movie to me is more impenetrable than any David Lynch movie. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I don't know, what are you trying to communicate?
Well, it's not trying to tell you anything. This is all surface. There's no.
But I mean, so when you go to make a movie, right? It takes a long time to make a movie, from conception to production to pre-production to post-production. Why did you make this movie? What are you trying to tell? What information did you want to get across to me as a viewer to enjoy your art that you made? I don't know. I have no idea. You're right. Everything is flat. There's nothing to be gleaned from it. But it's not even anti-art. You know what I mean? It's not a fucking, I don't know, Michael Haneke movie where it's you want the audience to feel bad for watching the movie. I don't know what this is. And I find it shocking because the Coens are so good with intentionality. You know what I mean? They're so good at, in their other films, being funny and being dramatic and going 100 different directions, but then coming together and coalescing into something that makes sense. And this movie has none of that. None of it. And it's very weird.
A to B, and it's all 100% surface. It's what you see is what you get. There is
the greats all have bad
nothing.
games, right? Like Tom Brady probably had a game where he threw 4 interceptions, right? Like I guess everybody's due for one dud, but like this is so
yeah, but
bad.
Tom Brady didn't get a chance to sit there and go, "Oh, I shouldn't put this game out."
Right. That's poor example. I was just trying to make a bad analogy, which I did. Also, Alex Smith said that Tom Brady played in the least competitive division in all of football, which is the funniest thing I've ever heard. But cool,
Yeah.
Alex Smith. Like, what are you talking?
He's right
about?
on. He's 100% right on though.
I mean, until recently, the Bills were trash,
when
the
Tom
Jets
Brady,
were trash,
when
and
Tom
the Dolphins
Brady
are
played,
trash.
the Dolphins, Bills, and Jets were garbage for 15 years.
I mean, you know.
They probably couldn't cobble together 16 wins between the 3 teams.
The Jets had a small, 2-year run with Rex Ryan before his foot fetish scandal, and then he fell off.
Was that Sanchez?
Yeah.
Yep. And Bart Scott.
Mark Sanchez, he's one of those guys that he's a color commentator now, and it's always fucking hilarious to listen to him critique quarterbacks. It's like, bro, you sucked.
All you gotta do is go butt fumble, Sanchez. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Anyway, let's get into Five Knuckle Shuffle.
Sanchez. I don't know what he has to talk about.
This movie was originally supposed to be directed by Barry Sonnenfeld.
He produced it. He was a producer on this movie. This seems more like a Barry Sonnenfeld movie.
He backed out when the Coens were hired.
What was that Barry Sonnenfeld thing?
But they wrote it too, right? Like because they weren't like a gun for hire. They couldn't
have written it because it was a remake.
No, but you still have to write a script based on a remake. Like I don't think, and also like I should have, but I don't think that. I think this has the same premise as the original, but I don't think like the original Alec Guinness is playing like Foghorn Leghorn. I think that's all added. But anyway. So I didn't know
original,
Barry Sonnenfeld.
The original is British.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I doubt he's playing Foghorn Leghorn.
It'd be funnier if he was.
What would be a British Foghorn Leghorn? That's interesting.
Oh, Daniel Craig does it.
Oh yeah. Good point. All right, Five Knuckle Shuffle time, I guess. Alec.
10.
Jesus Christ! Don't make a mockery of the.
I'm just gonna start throwing the scores off.
No,
throwing the range off.
Don't cue the winged serp at us. It's not worth it.
Destroy the algorithm.
This is
anything north of 0 is going to be shocking to me.
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 1 point for the cat.
Hell yeah.
And 1 point for I don't know.
Hitties.
Say Mo.
Say Mo. I'll give it a point for the premise, because the premise isn't bad. It's just executed poorly.
Agreed.
Incredibly poorly. Like in other hands with another script and other directors, like this premise, I think, could be potentially fun.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's
bad. It's in the current state that it is, it's absolute trash. That's one of the reasons that I hate the Coens.
It's crazy to hate the Coens, but I respect it.
I mean, it's basically the same plot.
I don't know. I think I've looked at like there's stuff that I've seen and I'm like 50-50. Like so, like really? I like Fargo. I like Oh Brother. I think I liked Blood Simple. Is that the one we watched?
No, you did not. You did not like Blood Simple.
I didn't. No,
yeah.
Well, maybe not.
You like Big Lebowski, don't you?
Yeah, I like Big Lebowski. I like.
Did you ever see Raising Arizona? I think you'd like that.
I think saw that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a banger.
What's the one with the Jewish family?
A Serious Man? I like that a lot.
I liked that until the last 10 minutes, I think. Burn After Reading, I remember liking.
Oh, I love Burn After Reading. It sounds like you're more pro than con.
I've never seen No Country for Old Men.
I like that movie.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen True Grit?
Their whole filmography. I remember liking it when I saw it.
Yeah.
But I feel like retroactively I wouldn't because it's ruined Jeff Daniels or Jeff
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
It's ruined Jeff Bridges because that's what he does. He's like, oh, this is easy. I'll just do this.
Fucking witches. Yeah.
All right.
I'll give it a 2. Sean.
I give it like a 6. Is that how Sean talks?
Yeah, he sounds like an old Cartman.
Yeah. Sean,
I give it a 6.
I'm Sean. He'll probably give it like a 1, I would think. We'll find out. He probably didn't watch it either, son of a bitch.
He probably didn't watch it.
Who really gets the score now? Me?
You. Go ahead.
It gets a 1 for the cat. But that's it. I love the cat. And I'm glad that no ill will happened to the cat. Like, nothing bad happens to the cat. And actually, the cat gets the final scene in the movie. Also, one of two scenes, I guess. I actually liked the cat, it ending with the cat dropping the finger into the trash barge. I did enjoy that. This is the movie that's filled with talented people. I didn't bring it up, but Sir Richard Deakins fucking shot this movie. He's like a world famous cinematographer. He's shot some of the greatest movies ever made. He shot this movie, and it's like, fuck, like why? Like the Coens are great. This is not. Every actor in this movie is usually pretty good. Even Marlon Wayans has had stuff where he's good. But like, and again, like this made me examine the Coen brothers and their relationship with like black characters, like we talked about at the beginning, and it feels super problematic. And I don't know, again, like maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that wouldn't really bother me, but I find that shit like super jarring now, maybe because I'm looking for it and we're doing a movie review show, so I'm just trying to like pick things apart. But those characters, like, again, like the prominent black characters in this movie are one, the most annoying asshole you've ever met in your life who's just like endlessly fucking rude and just awful. And then, two people that try to rob a fucking donut shop. Like, it's like, okay, that's great.
And then even the old lady, they make her say the N-word like 5 times at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She doesn't want to play the hip-hop music.
Yeah.
And then the cop's like, what word are you talking about?
Yeah.
So they make her actually say it like 3 or 4 times. Just because it's...
Yeah, because we forget the word.
They think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's bad. The movie is not funny. It's like not even, like, it doesn't even resemble jokes. I don't understand where the laughs are supposed to come. And again, the Coens are funny. Like, Big Lebowski, hilarious. Raising Arizona, hilarious. Like, that kid in Raising Arizona that's just writing fart on his wall, that's like the funniest thing I've ever seen. So, like, they understand humor. Like, I don't know. Like, were they asleep? Did Barry Sonnenfeld, like, actually direct this movie? You know what I mean? Like, you know how, I think it's Poltergeist, that Tobe Hooper is the credited director, but people say that he, like, basically was never there and Steven Spielberg actually directed the movie? Is it one of those situations where, like, because Barry Sonnenfeld sucks. Like, we've gone over some of his fucking movies on this show. He's not very good. This feels like a Barry Sonnenfeld movie. I hate this movie, and I don't know why it's here. It's like, it's the thing that should not be. Like, I don't get it. So it's a 1 because I love cats, and shout out to Pickles. Gogs.
How many times do you think the old lady said the N-word in the movie?
At least 3 or 4.
At least, yeah, a couple, right?
Please don't base your score off N-words. That's just not a precedent I want to set.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, so however many that is, it's a 0. This movie sucks. Like, this movie sucks shit. The cat sucks shit. Everything sucks shit.
Oh, come on.
The cat. Fuck the
Damn, man.
Like, man, you need to get a cat again, man.
This isn't cool. I don't like this.
This movie made me not want cats ever again.
Man.
It made me not want to have a basement. I love my basement. Like, this movie is the worst. Like, Tom Hanks is the worst in it, and yet somehow everyone else is worse than him.
Next time I come over, we'll start tunneling towards one of your neighbor's basements to start a heist, and we'll see if we can make it funnier than they did.
It would have to be. Like, one of my kids could get caught in a cave and it'd be funnier than this, because this movie sucks. I'm mad at Sean. I'm kind of mad at the show. Like, this might be one of the worst movies we've watched for the show. And we watched Maximum Conviction this year. I hated every second of it. It ruined an evening for me. Go to hell, Tom Hanks. Like, this movie sucks. That's it. That's a zero. It's one of the worst things we've watched.
My favorite Gogs review ever. Go to hell, Tom Hanks. Too funny.
So now, Alec? What's next month?
Yeah, what's next month?
Next month is It's a Wonderful Knife. All movies about swords and blades and stuff in them.
Oh wow,
that's a good one. Who came up with that one?
That's a great one.
Nicely done.
Do you have a pick? I gotta think.
I have a pick.
Okay.
Blade.
Okay.
Right there.
Pick Blade 2 so we can argue about it on the show.
Fuck Blade 2.
Blade 2 is awesome. You're so wrong about it.
Couple thumbs down.
You're out of
Blade 3, though. We can all hate it.
Oh, we all hate Blade 3.
Blade 3 is so bad.
Blade, OG Blade with the Blood Rave and Blood Tornado, what's his name?
Steven Dorff.
And Chris Offerson.
Steven Dorff is in the new season of the Gemstones, and he's fucking great.
He was great in that season of True Detective he was in. That season kind of sputtered out, but he was really good in it.
Was that third season?
Yeah, the one with Mahershala Ali.
I heard that was good. The second one was so bad I didn't go back.
The second one was fucking awful. And the first one is one of the best seasons of television ever made. I'll stand by that.
It's a great one. It's plagiarized, right?
There's a new one coming out. Or maybe it's already out.
There's a new season of Fargo getting ready to come out, too.
Yeah, it looks good. That show is excellent.
Oh, what's her name?
I
can't think of her real name. Keely from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Can't think of her real name.
All right.
And I know her real name. I know it well. I don't know why I can't think of it. No, Juno something.
Juno Temple. Is that her name?
Juno Temple. Yes.
Great name. All right. Well, that's a show. Next week, Blade. Looking forward to revisiting that. I haven't watched that movie in years.
One of the original Marvel films.
And one of the biggest reasons why superhero movies are a thing. Like,
yeah, it was like
absolutely. It was a huge
really
hit.
That, like, as far as like legit Marvel movies,
it
was the Dolph Lundgren Punisher and then this Blade.
Yeah, and then X-Men.
After this was X-Men and Spider-Man and.
So Blade started it all. I remember Blade also was one of the first DVDs I ever owned. It was that and Starship Troopers. I remember that like it was yesterday.
That's a hell of a duology.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. That's a great one. Jesus.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was so excited. DVDs were so exciting back then. I miss being excited over new technology. Now everything is so like meh.
The drive home, like going to Best Buy and getting it, and then just anticipation.
So
I say what I miss, if we're going to reminisce for 2 seconds.
Sure.
I miss a game manual. Like I miss buying a video game, opening up, and then thumbing through the manual.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit of like foreplay before we got into the video. There's no manuals anymore.
And a lot of times, like, especially with like a lot of the role-playing games for like Super Nintendo, there's like cool artwork in there and maps and stuff.
Right. And there was no tutorials. They just started the game. Like, I hope you read the manual.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, if we could go back. All right, everybody, we go back and not watch the Ladykillers.
Amen to that.
Somehow, when we went back in time, it would erase our memory. But all right, everybody, that's the show. Bye-bye.